The Absolute Universe delivered a double dose of goodness this week, but that is not all because this episode of Pals Pulls is actually perfectly balanced, as all things should be. We
Oh,
have two DC
pound him.
books,
What?
two
Pound
indie
him.
books, and two
Pound
Marvel
him.
books. We did
Holy
it.
shit.
That's three twos.
Wow.
Yeah,
I learned that comes out to six.
Even number.
Man,
indeed.
love it. It's like angel numbers.
And we've got four
Pound him.
pals. We've got
Whoa.
Cale,
What's up, hot dogs?
Marco,
I am Marco.
Tyler,
Hey guys. Shit, every time. I don't know what to say.
and I'm Sean. Thank you for being here, whether you are live or in the future. Thank you for hanging out with us, choosing us to be your review crew for the night or the afternoon or the morning or whatever it is. Let's run it back with those books that we mentioned earlier, and let's show off what is on the docket for today. We've got Absolute Superman number 7. Yes, number 7. Absolute Green Lantern number 2. Blood and Thunder number 1. Free Planet number 1. Double dose of number 1s. Amazing Spider-Man number 3. And the winner of the book club poll this week, to the surprise of nobody, Ultimate Wolverine number 5. Big books, big books. And let's waste no time and get right into our review of Absolute Superman number 7. This is written by Jason Aaron, as always, with art by Carmine Giandomenico. Where's Rafa? Ulysses Ariola on colors and Becca Carey on the letters. It's Brainiac story. We get the origin of Brainiac. And we learn his trials and triumphs and failures and all of that good stuff. It's an inversion of what I know to be the origin of Brainiac. From the one comes the many. Uh, in this case, from the many, we get one. Marco, what did you think about this new origin for the absolute Brainiac?
Uh, this is my origin, so I'll start with that. I don't know the origin. And so getting to see this um, was a cool, almost like sci-fi trope, and I liked that that's what Aaron played with here. I think for how it made me feel and connect with this Brainiac, I thought it was done really well. I really enjoyed the moments. I'm teetering on pick of the week, um, but I really thought that this was a cool way to show him uh, be just another like worker, have him be beaten down, have an existential crisis. The am I refuse is a good moment, and then in the end, seeing his derangement. So you got like a full spectrum of who he is, or what he is, and yeah, super super strong. I thought.
Yeah, this issue was particularly haunting.
Mm,
And I think it really serves one like it shows maybe the best picture so far of like what could potentially be like the dark side effect on this universe.
mm,
Things are just messed up. And I really like that, one of Superman's most powerful villains is now just truly, you know, a deranged megalomaniac, and it's earned.
And oh, sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't have anything. I'm looking at the setup.
Uh, it's it's kind of creating a mirror situation between Brainiac's life experience and the life experience of the average person. You know,
Yeah.
he's not exceptional. And so all he gets to do in life is work. And it's actually worse for him than it would be for a human because, you might slave away at the job for 10 hours a day, but you do leave. You do leave, you do go home, you get certain luxuries or pleasures in your life. This Brainiac gets nothing.
If anything, he gets to see like the horror of his creation. Like he all of these bodies, number 8 million, whatever pops up as well, tries to kill him. He
Yep.
he he just sees the darkness of all that. Damn, I think this might be my pick of the week.
I mean, I enjoyed it too because I also like how it kind of turns the Brainiac bit on its head. Brainiac is a character that is calculated. He is meticulous in everything that he does. This one's not. This one's insane. And I like that. And I like that he's not really in control. Brainiac is a character whose MO is control. He's not at all. He has a fit in this. He has a hissy fit where he destroys a whole civilization in a bottle. I like this as a complete inversion on the character, but also leaves openings to like have a more traditional version of Brainiac down the line. But this version of Brainiac we're being introduced to, the one that's in the Superman story at this point, is horrifying, and he is a horror villain. I thought it was really interesting. And then Kamikoli is one of my favorites. I always talk about no, this is who is it again?
Domenico.
Oh, I got my Italians mixed up. But John Domenico, he did he worked on Sean? What was the book that I'm thinking of?
He's done a lot. Is it a more recent thing that
It's
we read? Because
not-
we read something of his
Yeah,
recently.
we read something recently that kind of really jumped out to me. Either way, he knows how to draw these like really crazed looking characters. So I think compared to Rafa, who draws people looking pretty damn good all the time, I think it was actually a good change to have Kamikoli jump in on this issue to tell this origin.
Yeah,
Or I'm
again,
getting him mixed up. I'm
Kamikoli.
getting him mixed up. There's too many Italian artists out there. Yeah, but I think this is a good artist to get on it because it really kind of sold that difference that this Brainiac is with the difference in the art and compared to even the previous couple issues. So yeah, I like this one a lot. Not my pick of the week, but it was up there.
Yeah, it's hard to say like what there was nothing that I didn't like about this issue. I don't think. Like I enjoyed all of it. I think Jason Aaron took one of like in absolute Batman, the first villain we saw was Black Mask, who, no one really cares about the Black Mask ultimately. No one's going to care what you do with him. But with Brainiac, everyone has an idea of who Brainiac is. And so when you take that character and you make, dramatic changes and you make them interesting in a different way, and you take them and you make them like a different genre of villain, like he went from a sort of just like a sci-fi villain to a horror villain. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That tone shift, I think, was especially in the art, made it. I think Cale said it menacing, like horrifying, and it just played into all of the things that Aaron was trying to get across here. And he himself, Brainiac, is torturing and like manipulating these humans, and so we get the peacemakers, or taking the
Right.
peacemaker and elevating, building the next thing.
And I was thinking a lot about how this version of Brainiac, so for anybody who may not have read it, like he gets born, created, and he's given a job, and the job is to clean up the refuse, which is basically the garbage remains of other Brainiac bodies who are no longer required. They're going to be used for whatever, maybe not even used at all. They all look like him. So he's doing this to himself. What do you think he's willing to do to some random human? Like it gives him a motivation for his behavior that makes sense. Like he already went through all this. So why should he care about these people in a bottle? Why should he care about the peacemakers? Why should he care about anything?
And it's a whole
And on,
go Cal.
and on top of that, like his big existential question is, am I refuse? But he's the one that survives. So very clearly, he's not refuse. He's God.
Mm-hmm. And he can play God.
Yep.
And also, I like how that role that he's given as the shit shoveler really is emblematic of his craziness. It's him constantly destroying himself over and over again. So like we see present day where he has bionic legs, his brain's half out. He's constantly been removing bits and bits of him. So like not his humanity is gone, but his brainiacanity is gone. Like what makes him whole is no longer there. So it means that he is completely insane.
And the design, the new design is interesting. I mean, it's still, robot body, but very different. Brainiac typically looks sort of pristine, like perfect robot type thing. He works on his body. Look at this. This is, it's disgusting. What's up with those legs? He's got like almost like what's the like goat legs? Goat maybe?
It kind of looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it looks like Mr. Tumnus
Kinda-
if he was
Kind of
scary.
a satyr, yeah.
Yeah.
But also the devil.
Sure.
Point.
Oh,
Leave it
yep.
to Cal.
And then look at this nasty shit. Like he's scratching his brain.
Yeah.
Don't you guys wish you could do that sometimes though? Like you get like an
Yes.
itch somewhere.
good
You're like,
itch.
man,
I was jealous.
yeah.
And like the mouth bit too. It's like that ripped Joker moment, the shining teeth. It's gross.
Sean, didn't John Domenico do a Joker book that you didn't read?
Was he on Joker?
Man, I'm maybe. I could be getting Italians mixed up again, knowing my luck, but
How would Sean know? He didn't read it.
it's true. Good point.
Yeah, I'm way more interested in Brainiac now and seeing where this is going to go now than I was before. They like this is how you take a villain, switch some stuff around, and make him compelling in a new universe. This justifies his presence here. It would have been boring to see the same old Brainiac. Well, what do we need that for?
Yeah. I like how I wonder how this is gonna play out now with, Cal. We'll see what his point of like contention is. I wasn't sure if he was mad at Superman's existence or that he not that he says he's perfect, but there's just like a moment where he's in the screen and he's kind of like looking at him and he's angry about it. He's frustrated about it. So I don't know yet what he like wants to get out of him.
I don't know if that was clear to me necessarily either. No, I didn't
He-
question it, but go ahead.
Yeah, his exact need with Superman. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just there's just a moment he says it's this darn Superman problem that's got me. That's got me
Well,
all.
That's because of Ra's al Ghul, I think, putting pressure on him to figure out what's up with Superman and all that.
Gotcha.
It's also,
but like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and also there's a bit with Brainiac's usually head honcho when we're, I don't know if that is that insensitive term to say anymore. I don't know, but he's just a lieutenant in this. He's working for Ra's al Ghul, so there's that also loss of control in that fact that he's not head of Earth. He's not head of the Brainiac. He's not even supposed to be part of that council.
Yeah. That's what I was going to
He's
point
just a
out.
weirdo who got their phone number,
Yeah.
So this is on multiple levels. Jason Aaron kind of upends this idea of Brainiac. That's fun.
Yeah. Pull, pass,
It's a pull for me.
pick of the week.
You know what? This is a solid pull. If this was Absolute Superman, I would be very into this book.
Oh yeah, pick of the week for me. Sean, where'd you net out with this one?
Sean is still thinking real hard. It looks like.
Oh yeah, he.
All right. Well, let's tackle this super chat while we wait for Sean to kind of get back. Common Sense asks a very common sense question by asking, "What Superman villains do you want to see in Absolute Superman?" Me, Conduit, and Encantadora. I can see Peacemaker being Conduit Experiment by Brainiac. I don't know who either of those are.
Yeah.
I don't think I do either.
Which is,
I've heard.
yeah.
I think I've heard of Conduit.
I've never heard of either. My knowledge of Superman villains is not strong. I'll be completely honest. I think that mixed with the fact that all of my Superman villain knowledge comes from like going to the Six Flags Superman ride and waiting in the queue, and there's like all these kinds of like ads or whatever for it. So I would like to see an absolute version of like maybe Brainiac. Oh no, sorry, Parasite. The other man, I'm trying to get
The other purple guy.
The other purple guy, yeah. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of right away.
I kind of like this idea of switching some villains for others. Like Raisha's, Batman villain, but it's interesting to see that he's potentially going to be here to some capacity.
Ed Honcho, yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm more interested to see if we don't get other versions of Superman villains. Like if it is a Parasite, a Metallo, maybe you know what? Maybe like a Bizarro, but even then, how does that work? That might be cool for me, actually. I take it back.
I'd be interested in a refreshing twist on Bizarro.
Mm.
I
Does he
don't
talk
know
backwards?
what that would look like.
Yeah, talks normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too great. Yeah.
I think a creepy toy man
Mm.
would be really good.
Do you have him be creepy white dude or Super Friends version?
What's Super Friends version?
He's the one who looks like a jester.
Uh,
Kind of looks like a puppet in a way.
both?
Sure. Okay. Having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah, both. Hayden with the $5 says, "Hey pals, pick of the week, JSA number 7, Rip Wildcat." You know what? That book fucks this week.
Damn, dude.
I didn't
Did
get
you
to
read
it
it?
yet.
Yeah, I did.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Wildcat's on the cover. You kidding me? Of course I read it.
What are you, dumb?
Yeah, come on. Gratuitous pick of the week, Poison Ivy number 3, PCB hobby exclusive. It's a light week for the Gooners, but this cover is still gorgeous. Poison Ivy number 33. It's the Gooner cover pick of the week.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
I gotta check that out.
That's a good book.
Sorry about that.
Just in general. Poison Ivy has been killing it.
Well, she's poison.
Well,
So
Sean, where did you net out, pass, pull?
Strong pull. I'm not sure if it's my pick of the week. I just haven't made my mind up yet.
Okay. I'm glad that it was difficult for somebody else.
I wonder I wonder if my pick of the week is strong enough to be my pick of the week.
Like as we talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to like really commit to something and be like, oh, good sign.
my pick of the week surprised me. We'll get to it.
So before we jump into the next, you know what? We didn't get a poll up. I'm gonna do that now, and let you guys have your say.
Yeah, I mean, we covered both of the super chats.
Monster Design says, "I need the itsy bitsy Gooner variant." Ooh, Monster, you little nasty boy.
We'll get to Itsy Bitsy later, but is there one? I mean, we'll get to it.
Should be.
C.W. Jordan says, absolute mix of Plitlick, twisted by Darkseid, could be absolute madness.
Whoa.
Ooh, I
Okay.
like that. And I want,
It's a tough one.
yeah, I want absolute mix of Plitlick to look like Dan Didio.
Or like take that like one step maybe back and do like the comic book guy from The Simpsons, and that's what,
Is he just the internet community?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Commenting.
Yeah.
The Twitterverse.
Common Sense with the $5 says my pitch of Dana Dearden in Absolute Superman. Instead of being obsessed with Superman, she's obsessed with Lazarus, Ra's al Ghul, and she uses magic and tech. I like that.
Who is Dana Dearden?
I don't know.
Man, Common Sense has more Superman sense than all of us combined, I think.
Roger Hernandez said a motherfucker just passed his Calc 2 exam. Hey, Roger, congratulations, dude.
Hell
I'm sure
yeah.
that is no easy feat, and good on you for making that happen, brother. And I'm glad that you are here celebrating your passing that test with us tonight.
That
Man.
Absolute Superman is dedicated to you, my friend.
Good
Shout
shit.
out to Calc 2.
We've got a couple of things to let you know real quick before we keep things rolling. First of all, in case you missed it, we have begun the next deep dive. So we've begun a deep dive into the direct market. That is, we did our first episode on Saturday, this past Saturday. Episode 2, part 2 will be this coming Saturday live at 10:15 a.m. Eastern, as always. Hope to see you guys show up for that. I hope everybody had a great free comic book day as well.
Mm.
We saw a lot of you share your polls on our Discord server. So thank you for that. The big thing to let you guys know, to reiterate to you all, is what we will be doing this Tuesday. Because this Tuesday, we, the four of us pals, will be sitting down, and not just us, but you guys too, will be sitting down virtually and chatting with one of the greatest comic book writers of all time, certainly, Mark Waid.
Whoa. Whoa.
Holy
Mount
shit.
Rushmore has descended from Wyoming. Is that where Mount Rushmore is? I don't know.
Is it Washington? It's one of the W's.
Man, it's not Washington.
No, it's not.
Wisconsin.
Maybe. I just think it's wild to like. You cannot go a week really anymore in comics without there being a Mark Waid book out, which is
Yeah.
a wild thing. Like
There
Fantastic
were-
Four Fanfare just came out today.
And there were
Yeah.
years where he was just gone, or we didn't know what he was doing anyway.
He's revving up. He was cleaning the engines. He was, exercising because now he came back with his creative juices, man, knocking it out of the park.
I'm just glad he's at DC again. There was a whole
Yeah.
time where he was not blacklisted, but he wasn't. He was at Marvel
But
for a
not-
reason,
But not
yeah.
blacklisted.
Yeah. So yeah, because in that history of DC Universe coming up too. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, Remy.
It's gonna be 6 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday. Set your watch to it. Set a reminder. Make sure you guys show up and support it. If you want, we're only gonna have a half an hour. I'm telling you now, we're only gonna have a half an hour with Mark. If you want us to get a longer, more in-depth interview, we've got to show him a good time. We got to booze him up. We got to tell a few jokes, make him smile, make him laugh, make him want a second date. You know what I mean? And you guys play a part in that.
That's right. If you're on the Discord, there's a reminder, the announcements chat. Click on that. Check our events in the Discord as well. Click on the little notification. Click on the notification here so you know when that goes up.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. I was excited to read Absolute Green Lantern this week. This is issue 2. And so, we're getting a little deeper into the story, we hope. Al Ewing on the words, Janoy Lindsay on the art and colors, Lucas Catoni on the letters. And this issue adds a lot of context to what happened in the first one. And it lets us see what happened when the Abin-Sur descended upon this small town. Where the fuck are they even at? I forget. But we see what happened when Abin-Sur descended. We sort of see how each of the people who are a Green Lantern in mainline react to interacting with Abin-Sur, and each one of them has a very different experience. And we get a little more information about that weird ass black hand that Hal Jordan has. Tyler, what were your thoughts on Absolute Green Lantern #2.
I think this is the most different from its mainline source material. I still don't really know what's going on here, but that's part of the story. This is kind of a mystery. I didn't love this issue. I liked it. I'm definitely interested in issue 3. But this is one of those things where Al Ewing is cooking something here. And it smells good, but I can't taste it yet. But I have enough faith in who Al Ewing is as a creator to know that once this is done with its first arc, we're probably going to be on a ride that I'm going to want to be on. I think it's hard to even talk about this because it's so different than the source material. You know, at least with the Batman, the Trinity, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, it had its foot in what you can see the mainline books, you know, origins being. This one is wild. Abin Sur is Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo Y all of a sudden, and
Mobbin, sir.
Yeah, and all of our human lanterns are best friends in this small town, and it's just so different. The ring is only briefly gets mentioned at the end here, but I don't know how that's going to even tie in, honestly. So I don't know. Even the whole creed, the Lantern Creed, kind of gets reworked here, and it's much more alien, and it's less direct and straightforward than the mainline Green Lantern Creed. I liked it, but I'm still a little complicated on it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I wish this wasn't moving so slow. Because it just feels like it's glimpses of moments. And it feels like a lot is happening, but not at the same time. And I wish there were some clearer directions as to what's what, I think. I do like the potential idea that the different colors could already be involved with the different light spectrums. And Majin Buu, I mean, Abin Sur looks fucking great.
Hell yeah.
He looks cool as hell. And I like that he just wipes Guy Gardner off the map. Man, I hate that dude.
Well, you don't have to deal with this one much longer.
Like, how sick does he look right there?
Majin Sur.
Also, Hal, what are you doing with that gun, buddy?
Put it down.
I thought that was a great bit, honestly. The Hal pulling the gun out after everyone shot at this alien, and he still has the I guess ability of to not have fear and still try it.
Yeah, he was just like, well, somebody's got to do something.
Yeah.
But I wondered, and I got this, I think toward the end, I wondered if maybe there's some maybe like suicidal energy coming off of Hal. And like maybe that's why the black is so attracted to him. Because it like he keeps the gun. The Black Hand is still attracted to the gun, and it takes the form, and it by the time it's revealed, he hasn't let it go from the Abin Sur encounter, and it's a whole thing. So I wonder if that his what we would see as his like his recklessness, his absolute fearlessness or whatever in the main line, if it's being manifested here or looked at maybe at that slightly different angle of being like he really doesn't care about his life.
I thought this was great. This was a much better pace than issue 1, I thought, for me. I think I agree with you guys. I still don't quite know what the direction is we're heading, but this as more of a first encounter kind of trope and a it got things moving more so than the first issue. Like yes, the first issue just showed the totality of what was going on. Abin Sur was coming down, but I think this is now that was like holding your breath, and then now this is the release of that. And so I felt very much so that this started to pick up those more I guess existential moments were happening here. Because I think you're right. Like Hal is kind of reflecting on that. He mentions, people were there for shock, fear, religion, right? Like there's this awe involved, um, and this helplessness. So I definitely think this picked up, and I would have much have rather this had been in issue one, because that first one left me down. But this just picked me back up. Um, I'm I'm now excited to see what happens next, and what does the Black Hand mean. Um, the art still a little touchy for me. Very loose on like the faces, thick these like thick inks that I'm not driving with too much. Um, but I feel like I can adapt.
I enjoyed this quite a bit. I thought the whole sequence with Abin Sur interacting in the small town was really cool. Um, we don't know. I couldn't ascertain almost anything about him based on this issue, and that's almost more interesting than if I knew everything about him. I love that there's this air of mystery about what exactly is going on here, and that makes this fun to read from that standpoint. But I do have a bone to pick with Mr. Ewing on this one. You know, he talked about this, and I think the book has been sold to some degree on the idea that the main character is Joe. Sojourner is supposed to be the main character of this book, and yet I feel like it's more of a Hal book. I've learned more about him than her throughout this, and I'm not loving that.
That's fair. Um, do you think then this? Well, I guess we'll have to see, right? But is this um just for the moment? Because like this is part of that first arc, and then we get into more of Joe's history. But I think yeah, that point's fair. We have and are sympathizing more with him as a POV character.
Like, giving Al full grace, maybe it's a situation where he's thinking like, okay, in order to bring all the boys to the yard, so to speak, we've got to use the characters that are the most popular in the Green Lantern space. And through that, through focusing on Hal a little bit and John, we can introduce people to Joe. And then when it's time for them to step away and let Joe be on her own, or maybe, have her take center stage, we'll be ready for it.
But he has to do the work to build her then, right? Like, because then otherwise, they're gonna pull away, and we're gonna be left feeling, oh, what happened to Hal?
Well, I wonder if he's setting up the Black Hand more than Hal.
Mm.
And like Joe is just going to be maybe we'll see something different, but for the moment, she's just going to be your Green Lantern. The one we know and love. We know what a Green Lantern is, but we have to differentiate what the Black Hand is here.
Do we know what a Green Lantern is here?
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, Abin Sur doesn't even mention Green Lanterns. He just talks about people being able to overcome fear entirely, which entirely sounds like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kill you. You have no more fear anymore.
Well, I mean, that's sort of what he was doing. So
I like that mystery. I like how we don't know. Like, it's completely different than Green Lanterns. But I think your critique is apt, Sean. Like she's the one that's all
Yeah.
on the variant covers too, like all over the place. And even John, like John makes he's the cliffhanger too.
Yeah.
So
I very interested to see what is going to happen there, because what would
Yeah, what
John
was that?
possibly have seen?
he's an architect, or right? He's an architect.
Yeah.
He
Believe so,
works for
yeah.
Vandalay Industries, I believe.
Well, that's importing,
Oh,
importing,
got it,
exporting.
got it.
Right.
But he like, what does he know about alien tech? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, but like that question, I have faith in Al to solidly answer.
I am in for the ride on the mystery
Yeah.
angle. What I'm lacking is an emotional tether. And that's what I need him to establish. And that's easiest to do with one central character. And the mystery is such the focus right now that I just don't care about anybody in particular. Like, I don't even feel connected to what's going on with Hal necessarily. It's interesting to observe it, but I don't emotionally feel invested because I don't know him.
Yeah. That part's not driving with me. It right now, what is driving is the mystery. Like, what is going on? What are these characters gonna do? Not who are these characters and why does that matter in relation to the story yet?
But even still, it's like it's an alien invasion story.
But I can ground myself in that. That's fine. And now you have to do the work of, okay, in that framework, why do these things matter? And it's issue 2, so I'm giving it a little bit of time.
Mm.
And also, I think the art is really good. I don't know where, like, everybody's opinions are different, and that's cool. I feel like a lot of people are hating on this book visually. I don't know, man. I see the vision. I see the vision.
I think I do too. Like it's modern. It feels almost was Johnny Lindsay on Static, or it feels like who was on Static.
That was Draper Ivy, Nicholas Draper Ivy.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like that in a way. It feels like anime influenced in a way.
Totally. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which is
I mean,
not.
Majin Buu's in it.
I mean, quite literally, yeah. Even the designs, I would, yeah, for sure. But I think
Well,
that's so
and-
antithetical to what I imagine Green Lantern being, because it's so superhero-y in my head. So like the fact that it's so different is appealing to me, because that's what I want out of an absolute book.
Paul, I don't think this book is as good as it's going to be. Like,
Sure.
I think that
Yeah.
past the first arc, maybe even during the first arc, this book is going to hit a stride and we're going to fall in love. I'm not in love yet, but I can see how that could occur given time.
Yeah,
Pull. I just don't know how much of that grace I'm gonna give it.
fair.
Yeah, it's a pull for me. Luna says here, webtoon feeling. I kind of get that, but I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I don't know if you did at all, but I do feel that way in a bit.
A lot of people do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel that sentiment, but it still has structure, it still has form. I think it's being informed by like those kind of stylings, but I think uh it's still done well.
Yeah, Gabe
Yeah.
Nerd here kind of says my sentiments. I'm not fully locked in yet, but interested. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Dude, if the worst you can say about the book is that you're interested in it, that's, that ain't bad. Now, that only goes so far, especially for $4.99, I'm assuming. But yeah. Atomic Hound said loved Absolute Green Lantern too. Yes, I don't know. I stopped shy of saying I loved it, but I'm in like. I'm in like. Let's see what you guys had to say. Let's end this poll and see what the results are. Mark, you want to read those off?
I
it's on
don't
mute.
mind. I've got pull on 65%. Didn't buy, didn't read at 16%. Pass at 12%. Pick of the week at 6%. That's out of 49 votes.
Sorry, I was updating my stats there.
My
Nerd.
bad. I didn't mean to catch you at a bad time.
No, let's bully the nerd. Chris says, I read 2 GL books, don't need a third. Man, if only I don't know if you were around during Jeff Johns' era, but I was like, give me this Larfleeze one shot. I was getting all those Green Lantern books.
I hear that.
Overall positive, even despite the art criticisms. Like people are still into it.
Luna, Absolute Green Lantern, my top 3 of absolutes. Okay. Damn.
On issue 2?
With Martian Manhunter?
I mean, Martian Manhunter is in my top 3 easily, and so it's only 2 issues in.
That's fair.
I think Martian Manhunter is now the issue 1 is the 4th highest rated book of all time on League of Comic Geeks.
Nice. Wow. Isaac Taylor says, I am the most interested to see where Absolute Green Lantern goes, but all of the Absolute books are really good. Honestly, I don't know if I can think of, at the current moment, a line that had this many books in it that was this good. Maybe Ultimate line, but I don't remember how many that started with. I think it was like 4. Yeah. The quality is crazy for a big 2 line of books.
Well, and I think it's fair to say too that like with the Ultimate line, we've seen a pretty steep drop off for the most part.
Yeah. I think so.
Whereas for the most part, the absolute titles, what did I say? The ultimate universe has dropped off. The absolute has seemed pretty consistent.
I think the Ultimates had uh a slower start. I think we were mostly hot on all of them initially, but some of the laggards there are I think Black Panther, X-Men, and then we've started to feel the effects of stuff like Spider-Man. But Ultimates is good.
I think our radar was higher on the beginning of Absolute than it was the beginning of Ultimates.
I mean, from the
Totally fair.
outset, I only liked 3 out of the 4 Ultimate books because I didn't like X-Men. And at this point, I like them all, but the only ones that I love are Ultimates, and I wouldn't even say I love Ultimate Wolverine. I enjoy it. I think it's good, but I don't know if I would say I'm in love with
You like it. You don't like it. If you were to
it.
check
I
off
might
the,
even like it.
if you check it off the little note in class.
Yeah.
But even the difference between Ultimate Invasion and then All In, those 2 like impetus events or whatever, like I think it's fair to say we were way hotter on All In than Ultimate Invasion.
Well, there is a difference in so this is the big difference to me. The Ultimate line it used its main line to spring into the Ultimate books, and it created a mystery and a conflict that is being resolved in the Ultimate universe. So those characters are directly dealing with the problem, right? Or the way their world is distinctly different. But Absolute isn't dealing with that. Those characters are living their lives. The actual problem is being dealt with in mainline.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's weird because it gave mainline gas.
A lot of it too. It like the reverberation was felt in mainline.
Yeah.
And Absolute's just doing its thing.
It gave the mainline gas to put out pretty crazy good issues of Challengers of the Unknown, The Question, and Adam.
I mean, if it can do that for those, what
that's
can
impressive.
it do?
Man, once that Booster Gold book comes out, oof, can't wait.
It's gonna be nuts. And I think, sorry, just quickly, I think that's another thing that's gonna be nuts too, is that a beloved character in the mainline universe fell ass backward into the Absolute universe, and oh shit, how the hell are we gonna get him back?
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys caught the Free Comic Book Day issue, but there's some developments there too that are pretty interesting.
Cale, did you check that one out yet? That you have 3 copies of?
Did I get that one?
Yeah.
You definitely did.
You got
Times
3
three.
of
It
them.
was that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I think you would like it.
Yeah.
I think you would
Okay.
like it, Cal. As a fan of a certain set of characters, I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Somebody might be
okay.
getting the push, is what I'm trying to say.
Wasn't that so ultimate Mysterio? Wasn't that whole thing
Oh,
so
a
reminiscent?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
I was reading that shit going like, wait a second, like I've seen this before.
Yeah.
It was cool and all, but
I've seen it before, but this one excites me more. I don't know why.
I was gonna say, do
Yeah.
they do it better?
I
I don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
I mean,
think
can we?
so.
Can we? It was a free book. Can we spoil it?
I wouldn't mind spoiling it in general, but I don't know if Cale, he hasn't read it. I don't know.
I think you might know. Right?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Mirror Master of the main line, I guess, uses a portal to get to the Absolute world where he meets Absolute Mirror Master, and now they're in cahoots because they
I
know
have seen
something's
that.
going
Yeah,
on.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Man, Mirror Master's so good. I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Hayden Hideout says DC All In Free Comic Book Day issues available digitally for those who missed it as well.
Yep.
That's how I got it.
Yeah, Marvel's wasn't.
No,
There-
Marvel's. Yeah, go ahead.
Theirs is on Marvel, the Marvel app.
It wasn't on Sunday when I checked.
I just got an email about it.
Okay, they
this
might have
week,
delayed then.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I got to read the Mega Man one, the
Oh,
Mega Man
yeah.
Free Comic Book Day, dude.
Wasn't that fun?
I had a lot of emotions while reading that because I deeply love Mega Man. Like that is my guy, and I've never seen him in a comic book before. So reading that book and it being so fun and just like capturing the spirit of those games so well.
Yep.
And he looked great. The art was tremendous. Like I was happy reading that comic.
Does my boy Cutman show up?
No, it was like characters that I don't think are from the games, but they
okay.
were. Man, it was so good. It was so good.
Hey, once the issue 1 comes out, let's read it for the show. I know nothing about this outside of the literal first Mega Man game. It's the only one I've played.
Mega Man X #1 comes out my birthday month, and Mega Man X is my fucking guy. I've got one right
Yo.
here, so we will
Well.
definitely be reviewing.
Is that your fidget?
That one. Nah, because it's very fragile.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to use it that way, and then it would the arm would
Yeah.
come off and shit. And I was like, okay, I'm not putting this shit back together.
I fidget on this Gonzo minifig off camera.
Fidget on this Gonzo.
Yes.
Pause.
Wild.
She
Pause right
fidget
there.
on my Gonzo till I fig. No,
Till I Kermit.
Oh my god.
I did see a shirt though that had the president after JFK on it, and it said, "Call me Lyndon the way she be on my Johnson."
Oh, okay. I wanted to. Matt Fisher, are you here right now? Because I keep responding to your super chats, but you're already gone, so you don't hear the response. Are you here right now? Because I want to address you, but I don't want to address you the third time without you hearing me. So let me know if you're here right now, please.
I haven't seen him.
He did. He said
dipped
something
in. Yeah.
That
Oh, okay.
recent, yeah. Last 5 minutes, maybe.
Oh,
Planet 628 said that is happening in which Flash books? So that actually happened in the DC free comic book day all in issue. It was Superman stuff, and then it was also Absolute stuff. The Superman stuff was awesome. I saw some people talking about how bad that was. I don't know what you guys are smoking on, but I am so ready for the Dan Slott Superman era. Shit, look great, read great, love it.
Matt's here, Sean.
Okay,
I
This
have
is
no
broke.
money for super chats. He
That
spent
is-
them all.
that is fine, brother. You have done enough. Thank you so much. However, I have a bone to pick with you, and finally I can address you with you here. Dude,
Uh-oh.
when you super chatted Monster to watch this show live last week, you did not tell him what time it was. And you also said the comic pals. You left off the S. My man didn't come. He could have been here. He could have been watching. I could have been glazing. I was so happy that there was a chance that it could happen. And you fumbled the bag, bro. You did that. You did that.
You can't be glazing dudes on live. It's against TOC.
TOS.
Terms of conditions? Terms of service? Same thing.
Getting his
Ow.
Italians mixed up.
I'm getting everything mixed up today, man. Jeez. Brain's on I got that Brainiac brain right now. I've been picking at it.
Thanks, you mean with the comic pal, singular, across the board.
My man's been stewing over this.
Yes.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row.
The comic
streams in a
pal.
row.
Is that the one time you had to do a solo episode? Was it you, Cale, that did a solo episode?
No.
I've done a solo review, but none of us have ever done a solo episode of this show.
I feel like
I've-
I thought
I've-
so.
Or the main show.
Okay.
I've volunteered to do a solo bolo, but Sean always shoots it down.
Oh,
Well, I would too.
What do you mean?
oh shit. Okay. Let's jump into the indie spot of the show. Maracasquiro said I've lost the plot. That's okay, dude. Just don't go find another stream. Stick with us because we're reviewing comics all night long. Well, for
Listen.
the next hour and a half.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. That's all
Yeah.
we have to say.
Mhm.
Come on now. Blood and Thunder is up next. This is an Image #1. So those are always fun. You never know what you're gonna get. Could be the next saga. Could be something else.
Could be Blood and Thunder.
Could be, yeah, exactly. Blood and Thunder could be the next Walking Dead. This one has Robert Kirkman's involvement. He didn't write it, but he did put it together in a way. Benito Carreno on the words and E.J. Su on the art. Colors by Michelle Assarascorn. Assarascorn. That's an interesting name. This book it takes place. It's a sci-fi series that takes place on not a planet, but an installation, I guess you could say, that has tiers of existence. People exist on different levels, and each level has a different lifestyle. You can imagine if you took the class caste systems that exist in our world and you made it to where the world was sort of people lived stacked on top of each other, and the best lived on the top stack. That's kind of the idea of this world. And our main character is a police officer, the equivalent of an officer on this world, who has a gun that she talks to, which is pretty fun. There's a lot more to it, but those are the broad strokes. Cale, how did you feel about this one?
This was my pick of the week. I think I really enjoyed this. I felt like it has that bit of Hickman charm and Hickman.
Did something
Sorry,
disconnect?
Hickman
Okay,
charm,
yeah.
Kirkman charm.
There you go.
I said that and my mic wire messed up. So, but I think I was really concerned about the world building that happens in the first I don't know, 4 or 5 pages, because it felt so superfluous. And then we get this meeting of our main character, Blood. And I just I immediately was like, I don't know about this. But the world was so much we were immediately introduced into the prison system. You get a feel of, okay, this is what this book is basically going to be about. And then you have the taxi going through the tiers of the world, and then you see our actual protagonist, and the whole thing just comes together right there. And I really felt like with the protagonist, when you have her interaction, hunting down her prey or whatever, and speaking with Thunder, her gun, and like immediately making that relationship, I think it was I felt the magic right there. So I really enjoyed this. And I think this is gonna go places.
For me, this felt like straightforward. It's essentially a buddy cop, except the buddies is a cop and her gun. And it's the second time Kirkman has done the gun or the tool that talks. He does it in Void Rivals as well.
Yeah.
Even though he's not doing it here, he did plot it probably. So that was like, oh, okay, we're going with that trope again. That's fine. It's a different voice. It's a little different. And it's just a cop procedural. She even goes to the police commissioner or captain at one point, gets a little talking to. But I'm kind of with Cale. Like, yes, it's super straightforward, kind of cliche, very tropey, but I think it's done well. I thought the art was really good, super clean. There's the chase scene where she's chasing Herp the Perp, which is the stupidest name, but hey, I remembered it.
Yeah.
And that kind of like it hooked me. It's like, all right, I understand who she is. I like how the gun is the more reserved one.
Yeah.
And she's the one that's a little more of a Spitfire. I think that's a good bit. And the bit that she's also like one of these Exos, I think they're called, or Evos.
Exo, yeah.
Exos, who are the more alien looking people, whereas the humans are probably higher up on the tiers of this world. Yeah, I kind of like this a lot. I like the character designs. I like that the idea of like there are tiers to this world. The bottom, the floor being where the real underworld is, quite literally. And I think there's some room to play there. This is promising. Definitely.
This felt like, uh, I think throughout this felt superfluous to me, to use Kale's word there. Um, at no point did that necessarily change. I thought it was done well, but I didn't connect to any of these bits. The police procedural for this didn't interest me. It felt like, and I tried not to make the comparison, but it felt like 2015 Image putting out sci-fi plus this, and so while I did, there were good moments. I also remembered Herp the Perp's name. That was cool. The moment where like those like swells start happening in the body after she shoots him, cool, gross. The art was done well, but I just didn't connect with it.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I actually was looking forward more to Free Planet, just because there's sort of a buzz. It's a bit more of a buzzy book, I feel like. But this one delivered the Kirkman charm without Kirkman actually writing it, which is pretty impressive. I'm assuming that, if you read the back matter, it's clear that him and Benito are friendly, and this was an idea that kind of came together over a long, long period of time. So a lot of care and thought went into this, and it just feels right. And that's a weird thing to say, but I think sometimes you just read something or you watch something or whatever it is, and it just feels right. Like, this is a well-made comic. It functions well. It does what it's doing, all of it works.
Yep.
And I like that. Like, I like to read something and go, you know what, man? Technically, that was good. That feels good to me. I'm gonna read this more. I like it.
It also does. It kind of like appends the trope too. The fact that she's a bounty hunter and like, sure, she can be a cop in this, but I think, it's fighting against that. Like, she's going to be doing the cop things without being a cop, so trying to have its cake and eat it too in a way. But I can see there being some antagonism coming from the cop end that she's gonna have to fight. Both the other cops that kind of tease her because they have these newer guns that are supposed to be smarter, but the fact that you can tell the cops are working for the higher class people in this. So there's that idea like, oh yeah, we're confiscating all these books and burning them. Like, oh, that's not a good sign. Those are the bad guys. So she's going to become in conflict with that and conflict with her lineage, really. Her dad was a cop. So that's exciting to me. And as stupid as it is, I like her hair. It floats upwards. That's neat. Her hair looks like it's underwater or it's on fire. It reminds me of what's her face from the Rick Remender book that you're reading, Sean.
Oh, yeah, the sacrifice.
Sacrificers, yeah.
I think they established that's not actually her hair. I mean, obviously, it looks like hair for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
It is, but I think it's not actually hair.
It's a cloud of blood.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
That's why
she's
they
a
call her
she's
blood.
an
Yeah.
Evo or Exo, yeah.
which is pretty cool. And like when they said that, I was like, oh, okay, because she's an exo that passes.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And the art was good too. EJ Sue, I have not ever seen their work before, but I really, really like this style. It's kind of funky. He's got his own vibe to it, but it's not. It doesn't take itself too seriously. But it's very good. Like it's very. I love his figure work. I think his figures are excellent, and I love the way this world looks. I love the colors that they utilized. It's not dreary. It's vibrant. There's a lot of vibrancy to the color work.
The art kind of reminds me like almost like a plaid Klaus, but with like more etching.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
And
yep.
I'm looking up EJ Sue. He worked with Kirkman on Tech Jacket way back when.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a Skybound lineage there too.
This was great. I say pull for sure. I will be reading this going forward. I wanna stick with this. I had fun.
Yeah, easy pull for me. I really liked it. Although seeing the title be Blood and Thunder, the Warcraft nerd in me was disappointed there weren't Orgrimmar orcs in this. But I did enjoy it a lot.
Well, you did get hurt the perp. So,
I did.
You know.
Like how his eyes were on his chin.
Yeah.
That annoyed me a little.
Balchinian.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a pull for the craft, but it's one of those books that you pick up, you read, oh, that was nice, and I'm not interested in going back to it.
Pick of the week for me.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Sean, Chris says the old school paper too. What's the physical nature of this? Does it feel different?
Not to me.
Okay.
On Glossy.
Feels pretty standard. Like I'm feeling Free Planet, and it feels just like Free Planet. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, I think that was in reference maybe to Planet Death.
Oh,
Okay. Got it.
Oh, the Bad Idea book. Yeah.
Yeah.
That has a different
You have
paper
that.
stock
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, I do have that.
Which you got it for free on Free Comic Book Day, and people were charged it in some places.
What?
Yeah.
What a bad idea.
dude, they were trying to sell the fucking the Free Comic Book Day books at my LCS for $4.99 a pop.
The normal
No
Free Comic Book
way.
Day ones?
The DC Free Comic Book Day issue was
I'm
$4.99.
telling you, they're the bad guys.
And
They're the ones burning the books.
Scummy, bro.
That's
And I'm used to
bad.
that because it's every year it's like that. But it just sucks to see. And it's like, dude, you're charging top dollar. Like, all right, $1, fine. It's bullshit.
Yeah, right. You could not be a dick about it.
Yeah.
like these are to get kids into the store. Like, come on.
Very annoying. Dawoody says, hey, what's up, Dawoody? It's good to see you. I've been seeing you around here more. It's good to now I recognize your name since you joined the Patreon. So it's good to see you. Says, I enjoyed this one as well. These indies got me in a headlock at the moment. Assorted Crisis, Bronze Faces, The Loose End, Let This One Be a Devil, Lucky Devils. I haven't started with Lucky Devils yet. How is Lucky? I mean, I'm assuming you like it because you shouted it out. But
That's the Soul Ryan Brown book?
yeah.
Yeah. I love Ryan Brown.
I want to read it, but I haven't kicked off. With that yet. But Blood and Thunder, according to you guys, 63% of you didn't buy or read. That's rough. 27% said pull, passes 4%, pick of the week 4%. You guys got to get this. Go get it.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out.
Give it a shot. Yeah, especially in the indie flavor. Go for it.
And if you want to be, I can be cynical about it. It's a Kirkman-led book. It might have something down the line. This might be a key issue, number one.
Oh no!
Don't say that.
I'll be that guy.
Well, will Free Planet #1 end up being a key issue, or will it be a book that you can find at your LCS in 3 months for $1 in the bargain bin? We can't answer that question, but what we can tell you is whether we liked it or not. Aubrey Sitterson, on the writing, Jed Doherty on the art, colors by Vittorio Astone, letters by Taylor Esposito. Mark Kaufman did the design work for this title. So Free Planet posits this question and idea. What happens when a planet gets liberated and is now free? What does the word free mean? How much freedom do you need to have to feel free? And what are you free to do? What are you free from? Who enforces freedom? And how much of enforcing freedom then takes freedom away? Those are all very complicated questions that are very, very, very interesting to me. However, with all the characters we get introduced to and the many, many, many word balloons and the many, many, many expository pages of information, I found this to be an issue that was very, very weighed down by all the work it felt it needed to do. And I just don't think it did itself any favors. I was ready to love this. I came away ready for it to end, desperate for it to end.
Damn. Oh man. I was hyped on this one. This was that like sci-fi world build. And I think to what you said there about the concepts it's dealing with. I think the perfect environment, the perfect setting for all of this. And I hear what you say. Definitely there were pages and pages of just blocks of text, rows of text, multi-bubble for one single person. But I think it didn't bog me down as much as it might have for someone else, and I got a lot out of that. The interesting part is going to be, from here, how does that power and dynamic get maintained? It reminded me a lot of, for anybody who's ever read, but Empire, and Empire Uprising by Mark Waid, where once a thing happens, how do the individuals or the person in charge maintain all of these things in order? So I got a lot of flavors of that. And yeah, this was close to being pick of the week.
Man,
That's wild.
this felt like swallowing a rock. There are rare times in Pals Polls where I'm halfway through a book and I'm like, I might just not read the rest.
Oh,
I got to a page in this where it's one of the characters looking forward. It's the guy with the tattoos on his face. He's looking forward at the camera. And then there's all these, like folder word boxes with like the data dump. And I was like, no, thanks. I'm good.
Yep.
This it tried to do way too much in the first issue. Which is wild because Aubrey Sitterson did that Dragon Ball Z like book. I forget the name. There was like a fight book a couple years back. I think we've talked about it on the show.
I know what you're talking about.
It was very Dragon Ball Z, and that was straightforward, and it was snappy, and quick. This was anything but. The only part that popped me was when the lady's fucking the robot, and I'm like, all right, cool. There's no word boxes. Sick.
That was wild.
And even that came off as a little boring.
Yeah. Just sentient Hitachi. What else is new? But I don't know. I thought the art was very good, and which almost made me even more pissed off because I like the art so much, and a lot of it is just covered. Where I want to get to the next page, which stops me from looking at the art. Yeah, I this did nothing for me.
I really felt like Aubrey like took all of his notes on building this world and just put them on the page. Like all of this feels like it should be in one big concept document and then edited down into like actual world building that's digestible. Because this is just like I'm looking at the page. Geez, the page with two graphs on it.
Oh, the
With the wheat?
economy one.
With the wheat?
Yeah. Two graphs on it, 6 massive text box, and I just like
It's
and like
unnecessary.
that whole scene, like there's stuff going on, um, with rebels, I guess, or not rebels. I genuinely I couldn't tell the difference between the people we're supposed to be following and the people that they're fighting. I couldn't keep track of who was who, and like nothing was gelling for me. Like I did actually really enjoy the conversations between these two characters, like what they're fighting about, and then like how that kind of resolves. But then they walk off. The guy with the tattoos walks off into the sunset with this guy, and then there are clans, animal based clans, and I'm like, what is happening?
There was like 4 issues in this one issue. Like the prefacing that this is a nation that freed itself and now has to deal with peace after wartime. We can get that in 3 pages. And then I want the characters to tell me what's happening. It was all expository. It's exposition telling me what's happening from it's narration boxes. It's a history lesson. It's the Cimmerillion, except even more boring. Yeah, this is a bummer. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't help that I watched Andor right before I read this, which is a phenomenal show about a rebellion in space. Man, yeah, I wasn't into this.
This the first page, from the first page, I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. Because I got the point, like, oh shit, that's the free planet. Like, that's such a good idea. I've never seen this exact thing play out. I turned to the next page, and I was like, fuck, man.
I
You're
know that
doing this to
feeling.
me?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
You're really gonna do this to me, Aubrey? I mean, come on, bro. This isn't it, man.
Yep.
Look at the art,
Yep.
though. The art's gorgeous.
And the text, the bubbles leading your eye, driving you
Hot.
through the page.
Hot. I like that.
And even that first page that you liked has 14 massive narration boxes and balloons.
That's a lot.
Damn.
But if that were all it was to get us through the exposition, I'll accept it. But the whole book is that.
Yeah.
And you know what it made me think, and this could be construed as disrespectful. I truly don't intend on any disrespect. I hope Aubrey Sitterson has all the success with his book in the world. It made me feel like there was a lack of confidence in our ability and in the reader's ability to just grasp what this is without having our hands held and being lectured to. I didn't need all this. You told me it's a free planet. What comes next? That's the most interesting question you could ask me. And this is not the answer.
The economics of the free planet should be stuff that Aubrey knows, not stuff that we need to know.
Unless it's critical.
Yeah.
Unless it's like you have to know this. And,
Yeah.
and that information probably shouldn't come in the same issue that everything else is being told to us. But
Yeah.
you know what? I couldn't believe the audacity that by the end of this book, I reached the conclusion, and I saw that there was a whole ass article that is, I think it's just telling us more about the history of this planet and shit like that. I was like, you have the
I-
balls to
I
think that I'm gonna read this?
Yeah. I said, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing that.
No, no, I'm
Like
not.
I was already skimming most of what was happening in the book. I couldn't help it. I got to that and I went, sorry, dude.
Cole said, I think it's the opposite. It's very confident to approach a comic like this, however you feel about it. I don't think that's confident at all, dude. If it
Wow.
was confident in us to be able to follow the story without the exposition, there's no way you think that reeks that screams confidence. No, no, no way. No, no. When
It's
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the old thing of show don't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me too much. Show me. Like you can show me the interaction of them having to go to this farmer and say, "Hey, we're free, but we need you. We need to regulate what you produce because that's it for the whole of this nation now." That's an interaction the characters can have. I don't need a graph explaining that. Like you can have the character tell the other character that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't know who they are.
Yep.
Well,
Why don't I know
we know
them?
the robot fucks.
We know
Yeah,
the
but I
rough
don't know
fucks
his
for
name.
sure.
I don't know his name. I
Sometimes you
don't know
don't
what
need
he
to know the
does.
names of the people you fuck.
I don't know any of these people, and I want to. Like, I look at this cover and I'm like, okay, shit, that's pretty cool. Who are they? The book does not give a fuck if I know that or not. And that's a shame.
Monster
because I
Design says, Marco watching his pick the week get jumped.
I get it. Hey, I get it. The criticisms are fair, right? It wasn't my pick of the week, but I think the criticisms lobbied at it are definitely fair. Um, uh, I did get to the end and I saw the article. I was like, oh, actually, I'm good. I was gonna read the next book, so I at some point I felt it, but I hope that this is a first issue. Here's context, and then we'll get into the world, because we didn't get to learn as much about like that muscle mommy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a massive thing. Like the most character development that I feel like we got was with the robot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even beside the fact that he fucks.
But you know what, Cale, you said it earlier. That moment was boring.
Yep.
Aubrey's the one in the chair, not me. I'm not going to sit here and say how that should be presented. What I will tell you is that when I turned the page, already knowing that that was going to come, because you can see that the girl's unbuttoning her shirt on the page prior, the page turn was boring. It's a robot fucking a chick. That should be like, whoa. And it wasn't. Why?
I need to see how he does it. I need to see full on close ups. Is that just me? Okay.
Cole said, I listened to Aubrey sell the book and knew it was going to be heavy going in. Bro was showing the Civil War textbooks he was getting inspiration from. See,
Damn.
that's too much. He
I-
went
I-
he went too far. What do they say in Tropic Thunder?
Never go full rebellion.
Okay, yeah, don't say it. I forgot.
He needed to take a sledgehammer to the script and retain the most important information and make sure that he was giving us characters to care about and a world to invest in. Concept, perfect. I couldn't get enough of a concept like this. But the delivery, the package, I can't. I will struggle to buy the second issue of this, and I want to support it because I heard that Aubrey said that if this book doesn't pop, he's going to have to leave the industry. I don't want that to happen. But this isn't the book to hedge your bets on if this is what you're going to deliver. I can't.
It's
He,
tough
he
sell.
said that?
Yeah, that's what I read.
That's a scary thing to say about your work.
Thank you, Relaz Olo, for joining the channel. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Hope you enjoy your emojis in the chat. I would love to see some of those. Pete Collins of the Bardic Verses says it's not just you. It's not just you for what? What are you referring to?
This was a
think
thick ass
the feeling of the
issue of
book.
comics.
I gotta pass. I hate to say that, but I have to pass.
Damn, yeah. Uh, I'm pulling. I'm gonna stick through just to see where we go with this because I'm curious in the framing of all this and how these characters, once we learn more about them, will kind of will devolve maybe.
There's too many though. We're just gonna get 2 pages each issue. Like that cast is huge.
What was the I'm wondering if this is something like the Freedom Fighters of like Omega Men, but the framing of that was a lot better.
Mega Man was half the amount of team too.
No.
Yeah, I will pick this up again for issue 2 on the hope that it won't be like this. But in the scenario where I'm in the comic shop and I pick this up off the shelf and I like flip through it, I'm putting that right back on the shelf.
Hard pass for me. Sorry.
Yeah, pass.
Sad. It's sad. It feels terrible for me to get on here and say negative things about a book that somebody is putting their life into. Like that doesn't feel good at all. But we have to come here and say the truth. Like I hope the book sells. I don't want to take sales away from the book at all, but I have to tell you how I honestly think. It's not for me.
And hopefully more people feel like Marco does.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Didn't buy or read is 62% of you, pass 25%, pull 7%, pick of the week 5%. I don't think we have ever
Yikes.
seen that kind of response
The
in one of these
tribe
polls.
has
That
spoken.
negative. Rough.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris, that message doesn't make sense, brother. You gotta.
That's Twitch
Get it.
speak. That's Twitch speak.
1, 2 people happy.
Yeah, those are Twitch
Love people
emoji. Those
happy.
are Twitch emoji codes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I was very lost right there.
What?
Cale, don't worry. Don't worry, Grandpa. Finish your
Alright.
tapioca.
What's
I
up,
remember
Izzy?
when they invented emojis.
They're gonna say
You guys
invented
remember-
tapioca.
You remember the AIM emojis?
Oh,
Hell
emoticons. Yeah.
Those
I
were
tell ya.
awesome.
I tell you gotta, and you know what? You were proud to have it.
The original Goon face.
That's it.
Yeah.
Remember the codes? Was it parent in room or something?
I feel like
Yeah,
Marco never actually was on AIM when he's trying to fit in.
He saw
Yo,
these
how you
in a
gonna blow my
news,
spot up like that?
yeah.
saw these in a newspaper one time and went, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna save these."
He was reading a Farmer's Almanac from 2006.
Hey, careful what these kids are doing on the interwebs.
Did you guys know that code about how to make a shark emoji? It was the open parentheses and 3 up arrows and then close parentheses, and it would turn into a shark emoji.
Wow.
Witchcraft. That's some real indoor kid speak there.
Hey, listen, y'all TikTok kids think you know everything.
Did you guys ever talk to the aimbot?
Yeah.
I would try to get it to say bad things. Let's just say that.
Why am I not surprised?
Oh, yeah.
I used to talk to Smarter Child all the time.
Oh, I
and
hated
used to
Smarter
have-
Child.
I used to try to have like real conversations with it.
No, I would try to get angry.
Just
Try
do
to
that with
make it-
ChatGPT now.
Well, you can also burn through Los Angeles's water supply when you do that.
You can get your degree at Stanford too that way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Gavin Guidry's with us. Gavin Guidry, the artist behind the current Action Comics stuff with Gail Simone. Gavin, what's on the docket for you, man? What's going on?
He said earlier he's got pages in front of him with characters that I like, and you know what that means.
Wildcat.
Wildcat, baby.
Nice.
Didn't he
Yeah.
tell us he was doing JSA?
Dr. Fate.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, down the road. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
Or
think
like
I think
initially.
it's been solicited, so I think that's fine.
Oh my god. My screen name may or may not have had SSJ2 in it. Gavin, that is
I
something.
was super into super into Star Wars at the time. So mine mine was Cale Cloud Runner.
Hey, that's decent.
It's
That's
kind
not
of
bad,
alliteration. Yeah,
right?
I don't mind that. Yeah.
Yep, JSA. That's awesome. Good for you, Gavin. That's
Oh,
Fuck
that's
yeah.
sick as
yeah.
hell. One of my favorite
Ooh.
artists on one of my favorite books. That book has been
Yo,
fire.
next issue, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Hell
we
yeah.
review it.
Well, I guess he's not drawing Wildcat then.
Yes, he is.
All right.
All right, let's get into our Marvel bag. We're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man #3. It's written by Joe Kelly with art by Pepe Larraz, letters by Joe Caramagna, colors by Marta Gracia. Spider-Man is still fighting Itsy Bitsy. He's still fighting this poison that has been delivered to him, defending the Rhino of all people from Itsy Bitsy, who is a spawn, a clone of Spider-Man and Deadpool, which is fucked up.
She's actually a drug addict who injected Spider-Man and Deadpool's DNA in herself.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Holy shit.
Thank you. Wow, that's bizarre. Um, and so this issue is just really Spider-Man dealing with that. We get some more flashbacks to his childhood. Some of them are real, some of them are exaggerated because of this drug that he's on. And we get the uh full return of the good old Hobgoblin, who I love so much. Cale, thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, this was fun. The angle that I feel feel weird about is the uh Peter's hallucinations are all about him stealing um Uncle Ben's old army jacket. And it's got like, it seems like it's got like anarchy patches on it or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. And it shows, it shows that he's got these angsty teenager tendencies in his past that we sort of forget about um because of his Spider-Man golden boy image. But he was a teenager too, he was a shitty kid just like the rest of us. And it's just I find it such an interesting look at this uh this angle of Peter Parker. And especially this bit about the jacket. And we sort of don't totally know what's true and what's evil hallucination, because even at a certain point, I think it's in the beginning, Peter says, well, just as May hits him in the flashback, he says, well, that's not how that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting to see what could be real and what isn't real. But what is sticking with me is like, for him to be hallucinating this, like, this moment must be so weighty in his mind for whatever reason that it's coming back to him in this subconscious state. um I just find this bit of character work in a character that's been around and so ubiquitous and so overshown, there's a word I'm looking for,
Overexposed.
exposed. Yes, thank you. This bit of character work in such a small moment in Peter's life, a small moment that's not exposed almost at all. His life before he was Spider-Man in he looks to be maybe 11 or 12. I think it's a fascinating new little bit of entry into Peter Parker lore.
I agree with you, Cale. I think it is really interesting. I am curious to see where it really ties into what's happening in the main story, as opposed to just being a nightmare for Peter. I would like to see a more direct correlation outside of like, oh, the best friend he hung out with during that time is the one that's helping him out now. Because I still think there's something fishy going on there. So I'd be curious to kind of see where that finally lines up. I thought this issue, out of the three, could have used a little more forward momentum and plot. Like we're not much further than we were at the end of issue 2. Peter is still having the same acid trip that he's on. I think the flashbacks and the explanation of Itsy Bitsy are the real main bits here, and then the cliffhanger at the end. I thought the Itsy Bitsy stuff was weird, but I kind of dug it.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare for me to see a new Spider-Man villain that I'm interested in. I think the most recent one was like Hallows Eve, but she's more hero than villain. This is weird. There's that one bit like she's obsessed with Spider-Man because she is part Spider-Man, that she can't even finish the job with him. In fact, that she tries to like kiss him through the mask. It's gross, but also like that Dolph Ziggler promo, Sean. Should have been me. But I don't know. I'm enjoying this. Man, I'm enjoying this more than Ultimate Spider-Man again. Not to bring up that dead horse, but there's stuff in this that's happening where I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's keep it going. And the Laraz art, man, so damn good. The end where Hobgoblin, it's the Brand New Day version of Hobgoblin where he's got the flaming sword. It's, oh man, I felt Humberto Ramos in that moment, but like
Yeah.
not mimicking, not aping, but like almost homaging the depiction that Hobgoblin's pretty much famous from. I love the art. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm happy to be proven wrong after the whole Doom arc that was previous to this.
This was strong. I think it started with the art for me, where I come back to this book and I'm like, oh, that's right. This is great. The acrobatics, the rendering, the form. I mean, all of it's on point. Laraz is just on another level, and it feels like there's even like texture in a lot of these moments, and a lot of the art that comes up as well. So I really appreciate it for that. And as far as the story, yeah, I mean, Itsy Bitsy's fucking crazy, and it's cool because in contrast to how Peter is right now, like he's having his moment, he's having to deal with her, wildness and unruliness, but having a really personal moment, and that I think in contrast to like the reality of his situation, and then he has to go to crash at on May's place, which seems defeating for him. And I think one of the things that I always end up feeling is how, especially after reading the Superior stuff, is how he treats Aunt May. She comes back in and he's just gone. Like he walked in, he walked in like a mess into her life, in that moment, and then dipped. I'm like, damn, I forget. Like when it comes to Aunt May and some of his family, Peter's kind of a dick, but he's making mistakes. He's making mistakes throughout this book, and I think that is really telling of it's emblematic of the character. It makes him feel human, makes him feel grounded, and I really like and relatable at the end of the day. And I really enjoy that.
Yeah, this is my pick of the week. I fucking love Amazing Spider-Man, and I think this issue was awesome. I was laughing a few beats ago because why the fuck does Itsy Bitsy say in the first splash, the double page splash, she goes, "You look good, by the way, packing that spandex like a king." What?
And she's trying to come up his water spout.
Word.
Whoa.
How
I
many?
like
First
that
of
one
all,
bit.
how many Spider-Man villains could ever say something like that? Even Black Cat, like that's not typical. And I like that we actually have a Spider-Man villain who's giving a completely different vibe than any other one that we get. And she's just weird. Like she's a bug out. And I like that.
It's Joe Kelly getting right Deadpool. But like
Yeah.
canonically that also makes sense. She's part Deadpool. So she can say wild shit. Like maybe I think Vulture can maybe say that. He could probably get away with it.
Vulture?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I dig it. She's weird. The design I think is great. I think she's an awesome design. Toyetic, for sure.
There were a lot of people talking about the moment on the bridge, the like near kiss. And can you people shut the fuck up, please? Like, can you people get a life, for God's sake, talking about it's incest? First of all, no, it's not.
It's not.
Stop using words to mean things that they don't mean to justify your weird little hangup. It's not incest. Even if you take the word literally and apply it to these two people, they're not related.
It would be closer if you said it's insects more than incest at this point. Even
Well,
then, those are
no.
arachnids.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. Not insects.
Wrong.
And like just enjoy the fucking moment or don't. But don't make shit up. Don't make stuff up for clicks and clout.
Trying
Like,
to
just
cancel
enjoy the ride.
Spider-Man, a fictional character.
Or cancel Marvel or whatever the goal is. Get Nick Lowe fired. You guys are goofy. You're
Yeah.
goofy.
Gen
I
Z's trying to
get not
cancel
liking
Eminem
it,
again.
but you're taking it to a whole other level. That's just stupid.
Sean, do you mind opening up to the page after the kiss?
Where she yeets him off the bridge.
Yeah. Um, uh, one of my favorite pages this week, just great comics. A moment in one continues into the next, continues into the next. It's all the same scene, but it's cut up by three borders. Two gutters. Clean,
Yeah.
easy.
Yep.
Love it.
My favorite art of the week, but it's Pepe Larraz. That's probably
Yeah.
never going to be in question unless Gary Frank is dropping that same.
His damn
As good as a
art.
god.
Yeah. You know who would work with Itsy Bitsy? Wreck Rap. I think those two could be fun. Let me write
That's
that
an issue.
miniseries.
That's an issue I ain't gonna pick up.
I like the friend too. Like he's not really in this issue, but like what he's doing to Peter, like he's bringing back these memories and things that Peter hasn't really thought about, and it's making him uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
you know, like think about the fact that if Peter's, let's say he's 12, 13, somewhere in that space, Uncle Ben dies 2, 3, 4 at the most years after that.
Mm-hmm.
So Peter spent the last few years of his life, of Uncle Ben's life, being a dick.
Yeah.
So he has to feel a lot of guilt about that. It's extrapolating the moment of Uncle Ben's death and how Peter fucked that up and his decision making led to that happening. It's extrapolating that and pulling it back and saying, well, how long was he like this? And I think that's very interesting.
Yep.
It just plays back into him being a flawed human character. He's human. He is human. He made his mistakes, and he can make amends. But for this he has to live with it. That's
Yep.
good.
Love it. Pick of the week.
Yeah, pull for
Pull.
me.
Yeah, and you know what? Just quickly, even that I've had the Uncle Ben page open, where Peter storms off and then he in the future he disappears or whatever. It adds a real tension to Aunt May here too. That you're just like for me as a kid that grew up in a frustrating household, she's standing at the edge of the door there, and I'm going, oh, I'm about to get in trouble.
And that's like she's about to have that conversation with a late 20s, early 30s person who she's concerned about in this way. And it's like, man, how long has she been living on the edge of
Yeah.
concern for this guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great comic, man. Love it.
Yeah, good stuff.
You guys seem to like it as well. 51% of you said pull, 23% said didn't buy or read. Pass was 17%, and pick of the week was 8%. So that's a pretty good rating overall from y'all. Gavin says, I was optimistic about this run. Glad to hear that I was right. Yeah, I give you full props. You were right. I thought that the 8 deaths was Drek, and I was very concerned about the future. But I like Tyler, I am very, very happy to be wrong in this instance because this book is fire. Very pleased. Banksy Maine, I don't know, not really feeling this new rebel phase Peter supposedly went through. Well, we know he did. Like even if you erase this, we know that Peter was a little bit of a shit in those initial comics. The original books, he's like that.
Yep. Yeah, you read Amazing Fantasy 17 or whatever
15.
it is, 15. And tell me Peter Parker's not an absolute whiny little asshole.
And it's timely. Like if like at that time, he's a nerd, right? But he's a bit of a dickhead. And I feel like that tracks.
For
That
teenagers,
tracks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teenagers in general, right? That's very much what it was.
It's not hard for me to put Peter in that position. It's not hard at all. Now, go ahead.
Well, but all of us have one.
Yeah.
You know, a rebel phase, like, is what it is.
Yep.
And it's the moment that something happens in response to that makes you who you are, and that's the core of Spider-Man. Ben dies on account of him.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed, cured.
Gabra Nerd says there's a wave of hate surrounding this issue. I mean, I'm not its biggest fan, but the criticism feels way too over the top, like it's the worst thing ever. People are insane. Joseph Wolf makes a good point. Even if it was, and that's in reference to the idea of this being incest, even if it was, it's a creepy villain. What's wrong with him doing creepy shit? Dude, people are on this trip now where it's like if a character in a show or whatever makes a mistake, does something bad, but it's too morally bad, then that somehow reflects on what the writer thinks and believes. That's horseshit. That's complete horseshit. That's not reflective of Joe Kelly. It's not reflective of Marvel. It's that character doing what that character would do.
Yep. It's a
That has
lack of reading comprehension.
and in my opinion, putting too much of yourself and your emotions and your morality and over investing into this stuff.
It's a lack of media literacy, which is rampant across all forms.
Shit's dumb, man. It's dumb. Cole and Cole, thank you for saying that. Cole with a very reasonable take. I don't think ASM is for me anymore, but glad people like this new run. That's all it has to be.
Yep. Measured, tempered. Glad it exists.
How
for other
dare
people.
you have a middling answer there, Cole? Jeez, we only work on absolutes here, or some ultimates.
Nice.
Luckily for Cole, he doesn't have a podcast to do.
Oh, that we know of.
Speaking of which, let's keep ours going and talk about Ultimate Wolverine, excuse me. Number 5. This is written by Chris Condon, who is on fire right now, with art by Alex Lins, colors by Brian Valenza, letters by Corey Pettit. And this gives us our first look at the Ultimate Sabretooth. He is, now running a bar, and he's letting these young mutants hang out there. He gets attacked by Wolverine, and they have a battle, a bloody war, before Black Widow intervenes, knocks out Wolverine with a little help from my man Leech, and that's where things wrap up. Tyler, how you feeling about Ultimate Wolverine?
Man, it's my pick of the week. Which I'm surprised about. I've not been hot on this book, but goddamn Alex Lynn sold me on this issue. If this is the book, like if this was the book, I think I'd be more into it. This it's been a while that a single page has kind of tipped over to a pick of the week, but this issue is essentially one giant fight scene, and Alex Lynn just draws his ass off on it. But there's one bit where Sabretooth and Wolverine are fighting against the bar. Sabretooth slams him against the bar, and Wolverine shoves his fists in his side. And there's a panel of there's four panels that are just Wolverine's claws retracting and extending, back and forth, back and forth. He's not stabbing him; he's just shoving the claws in him. I'm like, man, I hear those pages. I hear that art. And that the art alone on this sold me. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it's a great visceral fight scene that I have not seen in a comic, and hell yeah, that it's Wolverine and Sabretooth. I thought this is a nice twist on Sabretooth, where he's the quote unquote good one in the situation. Yes, Wolverine's mind controlled, yada yada. But he's the nice guy helping out, Artie and Leech, which also killer to see Artie and Leech. Love seeing that. We have Ultimate Artie before we had Ultimate Cyclops. But it's cool to see. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Man, I'm gonna follow Alex Lynn's places because that is some really, really, really fun art, and it's brutal, and it's more violent than any of those red band covers were for Wolverine Revenge that I just stopped reading.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, put Sabretooth in a turtleneck more often, man. I'm into it. I loved it.
Yeah, this was strong entry. I had so much fun, and I haven't kept up with this, so I came back into this cold, and honestly, I was like, oh shit, what have I missed? Because I think that the story of this, especially obviously the connection, right, um, between Sabretooth here and Logan, and like the history, and that the moment that for me really sold it, like the emotional core of this was kill me, right? If this ever happens to me, end me. And he's confronted with that, but he decides to try to save him, right? He's gonna go to the farthest extent that he can for his for his mate. And you know what? Awesome.
I don't know if you can say mate for some wolf-themed characters, but hey, it's Ultimate.
Why,
They could be.
why not, coward?
Oh, true. Got me.
Yeah, this is great. I think my biggest issue with this, to be honest, is it's so good by itself. Like aside from just about everything else we've gotten from the Ultimate Wolverine series, like I am frustrated that we're gonna have to move on from this at a certain point. You know, Marco, you haven't kept up, but the last issue was a wolf and a bear fighting.
Cool.
Was it?
In concept, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, was it cool? No, yeah,
I mean,
I'm actually with you, Kel, because it's like, yes, this issue is my pick of the week. I'm still not sold on the book.
yeah.
Because this issue could exist in 616. It's Wolverine fighting Sabretooth, and it's a really good fight.
Yeah.
Next issue is also Alex Lynn's, so that could be what tips me over.
The art, right? I think that one word balloon with Artie, and he like speaks in graphic.
That's his power. Yeah, he has visual telepathy.
Man,
That's neat,
who,
right?
who thought that?
I
That
think
was
Grant
crazy.
Morrison, actually.
It's like a Morrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I echo largely what you guys said. I thought this was really good. I like the I mean, the relationship between Sabretooth and Wolverine is pretty much the same as it is in mainline. I guess the biggest difference is in mainline they're mercenaries, and um, here they seem like maybe they're more like freedom fighters, um, or they were before everything went down, where Wolverine gets captured and everything like that. Um, I thought the art was really good. This is not a good comparison, but the grittiness reminded me of Daniel Warren Johnson in a way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, and I really liked that. There were times I felt claustrophobic because of the panel layouts, and sometimes it just felt like there wasn't enough space for each panel. Like they would be cut off by, like, here's a great example. Um, so this panel right here, like, that is crazy tiny. Like, I'm not fully sure what's even happening right there, and I feel like it just needed a little more space. Like, it's right up against the page.
I felt that was purposeful. I mean, it is purposeful. That's how it is. But like that, like they're fighting in a bar. I felt like all the panels were to portray that claustrophobia because they're close quarters. It's a close quarters fight.
Yeah, I get that, but what's happening in that panel?
I can't see it through the camera. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
That's
She's
my
putting-
issue.
She's putting her hands down to do the flip.
Okay. I just think if it had 10% more space, it
To be
would it would translate better.
Yeah, that's fair.
They
Um,
got rid of that massive ad right next to it. Maybe you could see what was going
Distinguish.
on.
I think it works much better in digital.
digital.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're not getting the cover fold. There's more room. Do you even see her nose on the paper, Sean?
let me see. Barely.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
it's
get a full
there, but-
nose in the
Wow.
digital. Yeah, I think it's the way the spine kind of ruined it for you.
But that's a very minor criticism compared to a comic that I enjoyed a lot. I think I've enjoyed this series straight through, and I think this is probably my favorite issue yet, other than the very first one. So
Yeah, and there's also like momentum, like Wolverine, because we want to see Wolverine free. That's the Winter Soldier arc, and we're getting there, so that's nice to see.
yeah. Easy pull.
Yeah, pull.
Yeah.
Pull. Gavin says that means the artist messed up with the bleed. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't want to argue about it, but it's very clear to me that that's more than just,
Digital versus physical.
yeah, like it's a choice that I just don't think is. I don't think. Yeah, I just think that could have been done better.
Yeah, fair.
Pick of the week for me, even though on Pal's previews I said I don't see what people will see in this book, and did not want to read it.
I mean, this is what people
I
see in
guess,
this
yeah,
book.
yeah. And as much as I like Capuccio's art, who's the main artist on this, it's felt muddy a lot, purposefully so, I think, because it's Wolverine, he's fighting in the winter woods of Russia, But I like the cleaner nature of the art here. This is much more my style. I like Capuccio's art, and I liked it in Moon Knight. I believe he was on previous. But this is just more my bag. Not to say one's better than the other. This is just more appealing to me, especially for what was the story they were telling here.
A little more Toth here.
Yeah. I also think the difference between like this issue and like the last issue versus like the one with what was it, Gambit and Kitty Pryde,
Yeah.
where we meet Black Widow for the first time. Like, those are interesting because we're seeing Wolverine's effects on other people. And like the other issues have mostly been about Wolverine just being Wolverine. And right now Wolverine is like a hypnotized, sleeper agent or whatever the fuck. So he doesn't really do anything that's interesting. That's why they had to have a whole issue where a wolf fights a bear.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to more. I'm looking forward to more. I like this book. I like this book a lot. What's the tease for the next one?
Alex Lins is on it. Wolverine's tied up, but then the issue after that seems to be like an arc finale because Magic is on it, and so is Darkchild.
Whoa.
Oof, love me some Darkchild. Magic, a star of 2025. I know. Kevin Feige's like, okay, hold on.
He said, "Hold on, we can't
Okay,
get
hold
her
on,
back.
hold
Don't
Yeah.
blow her up."
You know, I went to see. I almost said Taskmaster. I didn't go see Taskmaster. I went to see Thunderbolts.
Again?
Oh,
No.
Okay.
And we just I didn't take the space to talk about this when we did the review, but I figured we could talk about that now while we get ready to do Sean's soapbox or whatever the fucking Sean Stack.
Your other segment.
Yeah. There was a full blown fist fight on the train
oh,
for me
fuck
that I
yeah!
saw coming back uptown.
Hell yeah! Was one of them have a shield and tasers, or was this
No.
some strategic marketing?
This was two random individuals. When I tell you this train was packed, you couldn't reach around to scratch your ass on this train. Like there would have been no room. You would have been rubbing up against somebody's crotch if you tried to reach back to scratch your ass. That's how, ass to ass, or that's how.
Sardines.
Yeah,
That's what
we
the
were
pole is
packed.
for, anyway. You line up your ass to the pole and you just floss it.
How can you
Scratch.
scratch? That shit is. That shit is. There's
Skill issue,
nothing
Sean.
to
That's
scratch
a
against.
skill issue.
All right. So packed
Sorry,
train.
what
But
time is this?
this is like after 11.
Okay, so
it's
after the movie.
pretty late. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to get back uptown, and I hear a commotion. I'm reading a book. I got my headphones on. I don't want any beef. All right. I'm in peace. Okay. But I hear a commotion through my headphones. So some shit's going on. Now the door opens in front of me. All right. Door opens. And all these people from the left side of me run off the train. They're all running off. I still don't exactly know what's going on. I see all these girls running and shit. And then I see two guys, like hopping towards the train, but they're like in their fighting stances, but they're hopping. One is hopping towards the other, and that guy's hopping backwards. So he jumps on the train. And the other guy is trying to get on the train, but he's doing that like hesitant shit. But he's got a water bottle, right? So he's like threatening with the water bottle. He's like, I'm gonna fucking
That's a
hit
weapon.
you. I'm gonna hit you. And the other guy's like, yeah, bring it on. So the door starts to close, right? On the guy who's on the outside. He sticks part of his body through the door and it closes on him. So it's stuck on him for a few moments. So the other guy starts kicking him
Hell yeah.
while he's stuck like that, right? So then the door opens and the guy who's on the outside's like, fuck you. And he throws his water bottle. And so I'm like basically right in front of all of this. I have to move to avoid this water bottle. That's how close I am, right? So it flies by me, hits the door behind me, explodes. It's like fucking a water park, okay? There is a puddle of water.
Was it water?
On the ground. Yeah, it was water.
Okay.
And this lady gets fucking drenched,
Oh,
okay?
no.
And she was like an older Spanish woman. Oh my God, like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
very freaked out. Ay, coño. She's very scared, right? So the guy who's on the train, I haven't seen him yet. I've seen his back only. I haven't seen his face. He turns around, he's fucking bloody, right? His whole like under his nose bloody, right? His face. These guys were really thumping. So he has the line of the night. Door closes, he turns around, I see his bloody face. He goes, sorry you guys had to see that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That dude rules. Fuck yeah.
A moment of self-reflection. I lost a bit of that self-composure. I apologize.
I apologize.
Yeah.
What I'm stuck on is you see a whole bunch of people run out of a New York City train and you don't run with them.
No, dude, I'm black. I don't run to where other people are running. That's dumb. I'm not gonna run where the trouble is. The trouble was outside.
They
If
were
I would've
running
run
towards the
outside,
trouble.
they were running off the train, but the guys were outside fighting. They jumped off the train to continue their fight outside, and everybody ran off. I'm not running where everybody else is going. I'm standing my ass right here. Until I hear a gunshot, I'm good.
I got herd mentality. I'm
Wow.
using bodies as shields at that point.
I believe that. But I mean, it was crazy. I haven't seen a fight on a train ever.
Ever
In
really?
all my years, ever. No.
Oh, you didn't have to take those last trains out of Manhattan Metro North up to White Plains. Jeez, there'd be a fight on those every time I was on it. It would be surprising when there wasn't a fight.
Be shocked.
Yeah, it's like those Crestwood kids, man. Jeez.
And the only time I have ever seen people move off a train like that is if stinky homeless people were on it.
I got a story for that, but that's another episode.
I think you've told one of those before.
I might have, yeah, about the dude who was jumping on the fucking train steps, kicking the windows like a nutcase.
That's par for the
Oh, I
course.
don't know if you have.
Yeah, I might not have.
The 6 train?
Crazy shit happens in New York. Numbers have already come in for the stack. You guys can keep throwing those in there. Just wanted to share my story of how New York is crazy. But hey, this could happen any place with trains.
Not in Boston. The tea is done at like 10 p.m.
Mike Hank says New York City sounds like War World with the way you describe it.
You see, you say that, Mike, but also like I'm looking to move into New York City. Like, I love it there.
Deeper, integrate further.
Yeah.
When you're in it, it's not that bad.
It's not. It's not
fine.
what Fox News makes it out to be.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like the worst thing is like around this time of year when it starts raining, you get your spring showers and it like reactivates the piss smell that's been dormant for the past couple months. Like that's
Yeah,
the
of
worst
course.
part for me.
Yeah.
The fights, you ignore. You mind your fucking business. That's the New York motto.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like slightly scary to me, but then I'm like, oh yeah, like I was on the fucking queue from
Q
Nostrand Avenue to the Upper West Side. Like
Q is wild.
it's fine.
You had the Q slasher a couple years back, right? Wasn't there a guy just slashing people on the Q train?
Maybe, dude.
We have very different New York experiences. You guys know the phrase "sun's out, guns out." In New York,
yeah.
that means something very different. Most of the time, you're talking about the guns. In New York, that means the guns. It's common knowledge that when the sun is out and it's summertime,
people start acting wild.
shit starts to happen.
Yeah.
And so I dread every summer for that reason.
I love New York summers.
You ever be in the Bronx during them?
Yeah. My family was from Bronx.
Where?
The right outside Yonkers.
That's not that.
Bro.
Come on. I'm talking about that's like living in Riverdale.
And then
I'm talking about Grand Concourse.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple wakes I had to go to.
Yeah, Tremont. That's where the boys be.
I had to go to a couple wakes in Grand Concourse, actually. Yeah.
My grandma used to live in the projects out in right by the zoo, Tremont area.
The Bronx Zoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to
Tyler's like, yeah, I love New York City, Yonkers, Riverdale.
I don't remember Riverdale.
Nice.
All these wonderful areas. That's an aspect of New York City. Oh, Jeffrey Belt says New York City is great to visit. I went there 10 years ago. Great artwork in those galleries. Yeah. There's a lot of beautiful shit too. No doubt about it. A lot of beautiful stuff.
Galleries.
And really, like, that's part of it. It's all part of it.
Good and the bad. Absolutely. All right, Cale. Why don't you take it over and get to these numbers?
All right. So we've got James Jones, perennial winner, showing up for Sean Stack. He's got 16. We're starting out with Rami Darwish on 14. Gabra Nerd says 15. Sloop John B says 16. Hayden's Hideout says 13. Mike Hank says 13. Near, again, not too far away from James Jones, 15 for the stack. Mr. Funiverse, no faith in Sean at all, 100 for the stack. MD Johnny says 12 floppies, which is an interesting distinction. Izzy says 17 for the stack. Entertain Me says 17. Matt Fisher says 23. Marowak Hero says 17. DWS 8028 says 14 thick. And that's what I got. Oh, Dawoody coming in at the last minute. 18.
Hell yeah. Awesome. And hey, Izzy, good to see you, Izzy. Always a pleasure to see you hanging out. So we've got the 6 we did for the show that we know about. We've got Captain Planet #1.
Finally.
Yeah, we finally got it.
And what'd you think?
It's
Okay.
bagged, bro. He can't touch it.
Not it.
No, that means he did touch it.
He read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that means I read it. Not it. I will not be
Oh,
back for the sequel.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Don Cheadle reboot was better.
Fantastic Four Fanfare #1.
Great cover.
Not what I was hoping for.
Oh no!
The Mark Waid story is like it's Human Torch playing pranks on the Thing, and then the Thing gets him back. Like, who cares?
I'm actually interested in that one.
Star Wars #1.
Oh, I have to get that.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No.
You really don't. There was nothing there for me. Well, no, the Phil Noto art was really good to me.
That's
but
right.
you don't
Never
like
mind.
him.
That's why I didn't pick it up.
Right.
That's why I didn't get it. There was a reason.
So, Kaya, what's the number is this? Kaya 26.
That's 26.
This is my actual pick of the week. That book is always top tier. Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma #2. Didn't get to it. Wish we read it for the show.
It was interesting.
Oh,
It was interesting. I would put it up there with #1 for sure.
Cale did extra work?
Nice. Okay.
Well, I had an extra half hour.
Okay, good.
nice. Vanishing Point #1. I wanted to give this a try. It's a Mad Cave book. So Marco shouted it out on Pal's previews.
Yeah.
You're the one that put it on my radar.
His masterful segue during Pal's previews, which you should check out.
Yeah, we had some fun on Pal's previews. We were addled by the amount of hours we were sitting in our chairs doing this, and we just said, fuck it.
A bit was had. Yeah.
We said, fuck it, fuck you.
Oh yeah, literally.
JSA #7. Excited to dig into that.
Also
especially
great.
After the book club.
Also great.
I'm
Oh,
excited
great.
for that. Yeah, I'm
And
excited.
I'm on the
Also great.
JSA wave right now. I need
Yeah,
Omnibus
yeah.
2 to come out. Let's get it
Sit,
going.
yes, read stuff.
I am gonna be pulling JSA. I'm on the train.
Hell yeah. Secret Six #3. How was that, Cale?
I didn't get to that one. I looked at it. You know what? I looked at it and went, I don't know.
Grommets #7. Been waiting on this. Excited to see how it
The
wraps.
finale, yeah. Bummer. That's probably one of my sleeper books.
Yeah, there was talk that there could be a sequel, so cool. But up to issue 7, it's been great. The Moon is Following Us #9. Can't wait to dig into that. Penultimate issue there. Storm #8. And West Coast Avengers #7. I am back for one more. I want to see.
I got
12 plus
17.
6? Oh, I got 18. 12
Oh.
plus 6?
Oh, let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18.
Oh, 18. Okay, my bad. Do we get an 18?
Dawoody at the last moment there said 18.
I think it's Dawoody.
Hey.
Da Woody.
Double
Hell
check
yeah,
this
dude.
here. Got tons of 17s.
The 100 from Hayden. Was it Hayden that said 100?
Nah, it was Mr. Funiverse.
Mr. Funiverse had a little fun in his own universe there. But yeah, that was a little off. Better luck next time.
Little off.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Smidge.
I'm not even sure there were 100 books released this week, but you know.
Woody, if you want any of the Marvel codes, feel free to reach out on Discord for that. Otherwise, enjoy your no prize, my friend. Jesse says heavy metal is really fun. I almost bought it.
Like the heavy metal?
Yeah, it's back.
Who's on it?
I'm not sure. I
Man,
don't know.
that didn't make previews. I didn't remember catching that.
Yeah, I saw it in shop and I was like, wow, I should buy that. And then I was like, wow, I shouldn't buy that.
It's like expensive, right? Like it's a heavy
Yeah.
cover price as well as in the title.
Mhm. Gavin Guidry reminds us JSA 8 is coming out next month and he's on it. So, we got to, not only is it a great book independent of Gavin, but with Gavin on it,
Even better.
we got to run out and get that. So we reached the end. We reached the conclusion of today. Smash the like button. I feel like the likes number
Smash
is
it.
not high enough. I've seen some people in the chat saying to hit the like button. Thank you guys for doing that. You guys need to make sure you do that on your way out. This Saturday is an important episode. It's the second part of our deep dive into the direct market. Really, really want to see you guys show up for that one. We're also going to talk the Jonathan Hickman sketched interview that happened. We're going to dive into that. That'll be fun to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And there's all kinds of other things going on, news and notes that we will be getting into this Saturday. Make sure you are with us Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. The window is small. It's a half an hour. So we need you right at 6 for the Mark Waid interview.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there. It's going to be great.
Pull up.
There you go. Pull up. Thank you. Saturday, 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you right there. Until then, take care, guys.